Even if you give them to me days before, I don't even open them until we are about to record.
Yeah, what was the point?
I just go line by line as we go. I don't even.
This 2 days ago.
I know everything's off the top of my head though. It's the way I've always done it. I don't want to change the formula.
That's fine. This is a very newsy episode, so it'll be like surprising for you.
Newsy, like the kid without a face on Spaceship Earth.
No, like the like the Universal Monsters haunted house. Extra.
Oh man.
Extra. Hello and welcome to the ParkStop podcast, episode 58. My name's Alicia Stella. With me as always is my co-host Ian.
Hey kids.
And we're back.
Yay.
It feels like it's been a while since we had a proper episode.
Yeah.
I think there was a Pizza Rizzo episode in there somewhere. Any excuse to go to the Riz.
Yeah, for you.
We have, what did I write down? We have a two-parter jam-packed episode, is what I wrote down.
Jam-packed?
Fig jam-packed from the souffles.
Yeah, I was going to say from the souffle.
The nene. So many just souffles.
We had 6 souffles yesterday on the table?
Collectively, I ate half of one.
I'm not saying it's all nene, but we 3 of us originally. But
usually every year we talk about IAAPA Expo and all of the announcements and some of our experiences, but we did not spend very long at IAAPA Expo this week. We had a lot going on. So this episode, we're actually going to catch up on a lot of Epic Universe news and rumors.
Yeah.
First, and then we'll talk a little bit about IAAPA at the end.
Okay.
Because we had some breaking news last week when the hotels across the street from Epic Universe were accidentally, I assume, revealed.
Yeah, we got to see them when we were at IAAPA, though. That was cool to hang out upstairs and look.
It was so weird driving out of the convention center, and it dumps me into Universal Boulevard directly across from Stella Nova Resort.
Yeah.
Like, it is right there in my front of my vision, and I'm like, this place is gonna make $1 bajillion.
Yes, it is. It looks
because
great.
Anyone leaving the convention center, north or south concourse, is gonna be like, we just need a place to stay. It's literally across the street.
A lit up beacon.
Yeah, it'll definitely be lit up and sparkly. But that's what we got to see. We got to see the concept art, which we assume is official, since it was posted on the official Lowe's Hotels website.
Oopsies. Thanks, Lowe's.
The reason I wanted to talk more about it, because I did a quick video the day that it happened, but there's a very good likelihood that these will be officially announced in a couple of weeks, like December.
Which should be great, honestly.
Especially if that January 2025 opening date for Stella Nova is correct, as it's stated on that website. Although someone pointed out that they already updated the website they took down to say in 2025 instead of January 21st, 2025. So I wouldn't take that as like definitely confirmed just because it was on a leaked website or whatever. But
yeah.
No, I think early December, we could get an announcement for both the Stella Nova Resort and the Terra Luna Resort and give us a date that reservations will open up. So maybe they announce it December and then they open up reservations 2 or 3 months from now.
Do it.
Which would be like a year in advance because people need to plan their vacations. So, of course, you got to give them a year to book their rooms.
And we all agree it is the Alicia Stella Nova, right? That's the name of the hotel.
No comment. Look, until this thing is officially announced, I'm not I don't want to get too excited. They could always change the name. They've done it before when we've talked about names.
I'm just saying, we know somebody's listening, I'm sure.
That's not, it means star, and there's literal constellations all over this thing.
I'm going to go around and I'm going to make stickers that say Alicia and slap it in front of everything I see that says Stella Nova.
It did say on the website too, introducing a new star at Universal Orlando because it's Stella Nova. No, because it's Stella Nova, new star. Never mind.
I got it. But
Terra Luna means what? The surface of the moon?
Yeah, moon ground. Moon. Ground moon.
The one website that was public for 4 hours or whatever was only Stella Nova though, so we don't have any amenities or anything for Terra Luna.
Yeah, so we don't know what's going on the ground moon.
It was interesting to see the concept art for the room and the floor plan layout, which we'd already looked at all the permit information and seen that there was no suites for
Yeah.
the Stella Nova. At least we haven't seen I haven't seen any permits that show the floor plan for Terra Luna yet, but I assume it's similar. But this one, instead of having suites, just has connecting doors between some of the rooms, so you can have a double side, like,
Yeah.
rent 2 rooms and have it connecting. But they're exactly the same as the standard rooms at Cabana Bay, like square footage and layout and everything.
That's cool though.
But they look spacey.
Of course they do. The moon and stars.
So
Stars. Sorry.
a big question we always get is how much is it going to cost to book these rooms or book these hotels, and considering the layout is the same as the standard room at Cabana Bay, and the amenities are exactly the same as Aventura, and even the style feels more like Aventura than Endless Summer. I'd say it's a prime value, I think is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is they invented that because when they made the Endless Summer, they found a new bottom for the tier structure. So they had to upgrade Cabana Bay and Aventura to the prime value level. So I think the lowest that ever gets is 140, but it's more realistically 200 and something a night.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense too, especially when they're going to have another brand new hotel for the spiffy peoples that want to spend money.
The Helios is going to be a grand hotel.
A grand hotel?
It is not the Helios Grand. It is not the Grand Helios. It is the Helios, which is a grand hotel. And the Helios is probably going to be twice as much, I would assume, a night.
Yeah, easily.
Whatever Hard Rock is, plus $50.
That's
my guess.
It's going to be a gateway hotel, basically. So
they might make a new tier. They might,
I was going to say,
they made a new tier for the bottom for Endless Summer. They'll have to make a new tier for the top.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have any hotels that are right at that are the entrance on one side of the park. So
yeah, so the Portofino plus $100. This is $500 a night. This is the Grand Floridian of hotels at Disney. Because it's so close to Magic Kingdom and on the monorail line that you have to pay the monorail fee.
And it's grand.
So yeah, this is a grand hotel named Helios
with my bar at the top.
This is the discourse that's happening on the forums, by the way. Is that I think the logo for this is going to be just a giant word Helios, and then underneath it, Grand Hotel.
a Grand Hotel?
No, just the Universal.
Grand? Oh, geez.
Helios. Grand Hotel.
A Grand Hotel.
Grand Hotel.
Oh, man.
What were we talking about? Anyway, hotels.
Yeah, we got hotels?
Get your pocketbooks ready.
Oh, yeah.
I think we'll have that announcement soon.
Get your organs and limbs ready to sell. I mean, pocketbooks. Yeah.
I mean, the concept art we saw didn't even have Epic Universe in the background. That's a good indication that they're going to open Stella Nova before the park opens.
Alicia Stella Nova. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, what else did I write down? I wrote this stuff down. I keep talking about
stuff.
it.
We were talking about this stuff. We talked about some of this stuff too the other day.
I can't remember what we talked about on Patreon and what we talked about publicly anymore.
I mean, while we were roaming around in IAAPA, I think we were talking about stuff too. So
yeah. Well, we talked about amongst ourselves.
Ourselves.
Yeah. Welcome to Coffee Talk. Talk amongst yourselves.
If we weren't there for so long in a single day, we could have mic'd up and just had a wonderful conversation and made a podcast out of it. If it wasn't loud in there too.
No, it's wonderfully loud. Well, it was quiet when we were going looking out the windows at Epic Universe. It was pretty and
it was
close, very close. What did I write in my notes? The restaurants. Mm-hmm. It's so funny because the beginning of this year, we're like, oh, they cut so many things in the hub. And now it's all back.
Just kidding.
It's all back. It's not all back, though. The retail in front of the Harry Potter land is still gone forever.
Oh, no.
So that's it.
Goodbye.
That's what we lost from the hub.
Goodbye.
That's it.
Yeah, it's fine.
If anything, we've gained a restaurant.
That's fine too.
Well, no, technically we're still, if you count Meteor Burger. So anyway, Meteor Burger is back.
Yeah, Meteor Burger.
It's the meatiest. The former location of Cassini, which if you've been following along with us, was a rumored Italian restaurant and bar to the right of the giant fountain inside the hub for Epic Universe. Cassini got canceled. The barbecue restaurant got renamed to Oak and Star, which, by the way, is still a quick service.
That's all right.
So it's the new plans show it as having a Coke freestyle machine over at Oakenstar.
That works pretty
Um,
well at Epcot, so I'm fine with that.
I'm all about I'm all about having more quick service locations in the hub because I can't afford Atlantic every time. So anyway, Cassini's former location is now like definitely rumored, definitely rumored to be called.
Definitely.
I can't say confirmed because nothing's confirmed.
Yeah,
They
I
haven't even
know.
confirmed the lands
That's not
yet,
how
but
theme parks work anyway. They're It's not confirmed until it's open and we can go into it.
Meteor Astropub.
Get it? Get it? Get it?
Meteor Astropub.
Meat for the
No,
burger place at the Astro Club because it's stars. Get it?
I think as an homage to the
Oh
former
man.
Meteor Burger restaurant, which is no longer with us, they will be serving the Meteor Burger at Meteor Astropub.
Of
And there will
course.
be a bar inside, just like there was going to be at Cassini. And permits say there's another separate bar outside of the Meteor Astropub. So 2-for-1 bars.
Oh no, not more bars. I hate that.
So like I just it's
Little hates it too.
the outside bar is right next to the splash pad, like across the path. So I can just imagine like the dad's like, go play, kids, go play in the splash pad. Hey, can I get 2 beers, please?
Get out of
Like,
here,
just
kids. You bother me. Dad's got a drink.
close enough to supervise, far enough to enjoy the drinks. um,
I'm
but
fine with
yeah,
this.
Meteor Astropub. I'm excited to see some of the. I think it's like a combination of like what was going to be Cassini and what was going to be Meteor Burger, and they're like 2-for-1, smack them together. We got a new, I assume quick service
I would
because it's
think
gonna
so.
like a
Or
casual place.
I was gonna say, if not quick service, it'll be like one of those hybrid quick service things. I would think.
Oh, if it's being redesigned from scratch,
I
maybe
mean,
this one will be like Minion Cafe where you
I
get
was
to
gonna
sit down
say,
and order.
the minion thing seems to be pretty popular. I kind of like it. I don't talk to people as much as I like the waiters and waitresses at places, but
Well, they still bring you stuff. You get to talk to
they
them, and
do.
they bring you stuff. They take you to your seat. That's all nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. I like all that. I like
Because
being able to order whenever, though.
all the restaurants in the lands were designed like Leaky Cauldron or Toadstool Cafe, where you wait in line, order at the counter, and then go grab a number like a buzzer and go to your seat. And because they were all designed before they did this Minion Cafe thing with the mobile app, like I think
Yeah.
they built them that way. Like they're kind of locked into it. So there's
Yeah.
literally the buzzer charging stations in the plans for all these restaurants. So we know for a fact there's not only an ordering queue, but also I think they call them buzzer charging station, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably just that. That's fine.
Even Oakenstar has it, and that one's been redesigned more recently. So they're just all in on the upscale quick service locations.
Yeah, that's kind of nicer though than just the regular like walk up and wait for your food and all that. I kind of like it better.
In addition to Meteor Astropub, we've been talking about the Zephyr Market suddenly being built also out of
Yay.
nowhere.
Yay.
Which like
Food court.
literally was being put off till phase 2. And this is what makes me think the open hub after 6 thing is definitely happening, because someone is like, well, we can't put off Zephyr Market, then we won't be able to open up the hub. So they just like fast tracked this thing.
Good. I'm good with that.
We talked about it on Patreon. I don't know if we talked about it on the main podcast yet, but the Zephyr Market was originally going to be like a food court in the rumors, like with 4 locations inside. And I think it has been updated and changed to be 2 technically separate restaurants, which is fitting because across the path, like across the way on the other side of the park, is the Pizza Moon connected to the Nintendo store.
Yeah.
So like that building is 2 things. Why can't this building be 2 things?
Yeah, it's probably still going to feel like a food court a little bit, though, I would say.
I'd probably have shared seating in the middle, but like outside you see like Italian restaurant and a Mexican restaurant is the leading rumors now, which would replace some of the kiosks I think that were rumored to be Mexican restaurants and replace the Cassini's Italian. So now we have the rumor name is Pavo's Italian, and the other rumored name is Luna Estella.
Oh,
Estella.
Estella. No, it's Alicia Estella.
No, it's Estella.
I know. That's why I said Estella.
Is it Moonstar?
I guess.
So I'm excited to see whether, because right now they've only built like the support building that is attached to the back of this. So I'm excited to see if they actually construct or if this still will open later after the park or not. I feel like they had to build that small part at the back, like the storage section for Zephyr Market, because I don't know, it's kind of important to the blocking the entrance to dragons. So
Yeah.
like the structure had to exist so they can block the view into the land.
So I was curious. Pavo is peacock. It's a constellation.
Is it,
It's a
or is it a
constellation.
tie-in to NBC?
It's a peacock. So yes, it is a tie-in to
It's right
NBC.
near the entrance to the park. Is this the new Today Cafe?
Yes, it is. It's Italian though. Peacock and Space and Moonstar. Okay.
That's it for the hub news for now until we get to our next video update, which I'm sure will be pretty
Tomorrow.
soon. You shush. I need a day off. Did you see the meat hall got topped off over at Dragons thanks to some bio reconstruct photos we got to see?
So cool.
There's an American flag at the top of that thing. That thing is tall.
Bring me the mead.
Is it really a forced perspective mountain if it's the size of a mountain?
It depends on how tall it looks when we actually get there, I guess.
This thing is like Volcano Bay on top of a restaurant.
It's
like,
awesome.
It is huge. Krakatoa up here. I wrote down, I went through all the permits this past week in between IAAPA, and I noticed some notices of commencement that were kind of interesting.
Yeah.
There wasn't too much to write down. I'm like, well, Nassau has a new thing for Monsters Land. Yeah. But Life Formations has something for Monsters. Now, of course, as we were walking around IAAPA trying to find life formations, I'm like, oh yeah, they renamed themselves to LF Studios. Duh.
Yeah, so we spent around, we looked for nothing for a little while.
But it is still listed as life formations in the permits for some reason. But yeah, they're listed as doing new work for the Monsters Land. They had only been listed, as far as I could tell, for dragons up to this point. So my theory, because they are good at doing outside figures, whether animatronic or static figures.
Say werewolf.
I think it's for the werewolf coaster.
Yes.
There is a rumor that there is at least one, if not two, werewolf figures inside the swing launch barn structure for Curse of the Werewolf.
Oh no, not werewolves, anything but that. I hate those guys.
The question is now whether it is a animatronic like Fluffy or the unicorn, or it is a static figure like the centaur on Hagrid's.
No, it should be better than both of those.
The centaur on Hagrid's is beautiful.
It is very beautiful, but
it is my favorite figure on Hagrid's.
I want movement from my figures. I mean,
there's a sound effect of a bow going. Isn't that good enough?
No,
for the centaur.
We're talking about werewolves here, okay? We need werewolves to come at me.
We do some flashing lights.
No, this isn't Everest.
We just go werewolf it. The raptors don't move on Velocicoaster.
Yeah, I know.
And you're going by so fast and back and forth. I wonder if there's two. Like the rumor is two, and I'm wondering if that's so as you go back and forth, they like either rotate something or illuminate something. I originally was thinking maybe it's a transformation scene, but now I'm starting to wonder if it's like instead of moving it while you're looking at it, they just change its position so it's always facing you. Like he's coming after you. No, okay, we went this fight. Oh, he's over here now. Like maybe he's jumping around.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Are we in it? Is the barn his lair?
No, it's just dark enough where we can hide the seams.
Oh. Boo.
Still think it'll be a full moon though inside this ride, even though most of the ride's outside and it'll be daytime. But when you go into that station, when you go into that swing launch, it's a full moon and dark.
It's awesome. Okay.
There was one more thing I wrote down that you don't have in your notes.
Oh yeah? You gonna surprise me?
Dracula is on the main ride. I know we've been floundering back and forth trying to say whether or not I've listed out all the monsters, and every time we talk about rumors, and I'm like, I don't know about Dracula. I'm putting my line in the sand. I don't know. I'm putting my name on it.
You're putting your foot down. That's it.
I'm putting my foot down.
We're done.
I am convinced Dracula's on this ride.
You're putting the stake through its heart. The conversation's over. We're done. That's what we're doing.
Dracula is on the ride. So
okay. So which monsters are on the ride now that you think? List them off. Let's hear it.
Okay. I'm doing this by memory, so hold on.
Yep, I know. I'll help you.
Frankenstein's monster.
Yep.
Dracula.
Yep.
Hunchback.
Yep.
Phantom of the Opera.
Mm-hmm.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
Wolfman.
Mm-hmm. Bride.
No.
Okay, I'm
I
trying.
don't know about Bride of Frankenstein, but I will give you Dracula's Brides.
No, I don't like that as much.
How dare you?
No way. Bride of Frankenstein's way cooler.
I feel like Bride
The
of Frankenstein's going to
hair,
get something else
the
for the
hair
land.
alone, the hair alone.
I think Bride of Frankenstein's
But
getting something else for the land, not necessarily the ride.
I think she's more iconic than the Dracula brides.
But there'll be more characters on the
Yeah,
ride
yeah, for sure.
who
I was
aren't
just
monsters. So we have that to look
yeah,
forward to.
us.
Oh, I missed one. I'm looking at my notes from like 2 years ago. The Mummy.
Oh yeah, of course. What about the Invisible Man?
Yeah, you can claim the Invisible Man is there, sure.
Okay, sure. Even if we don't see him, he's there.
You won't see him. He was there though the whole time.
Yeah, I said bride too, just to try and like add to the list of yes and no's for you.
Yeah, no, I've crossed the bride off. I have no evidence of bride, but I have a good feeling about Dracula now, thankfully.
I mean, honestly be a little silly if he's not in the ride. He's one of the more iconic ones. So.
Well, I think there was a concern about the likeness or whatever, but we've seen him on multiple Halloween Horror Nights houses, and they just redesigned him as much as they need to.
Yeah, I was going to say all of the monsters have been redesigned in the houses.
Yes.
So.
I think Mummy is interesting because that'll be like the scariest of the monsters to me. Because
why are you afraid of bandages?
No. Yes. I have a fear of doctors and bandages. Because we already have a Mummy ride, so they have to differentiate this one even more. And I like the idea of projecting things onto things because we can do effects like the Mummy's bandages coming off and revealing skeleton inside and stuff that you wouldn't be able to do with a normal, like you can't have bandages fall off an animatronic, but you can animate it.
You can, but it only works once. Just make sure you get the first ride of the day, kids. It'll be the best one.
There's one more main thing I want to talk about for Epic.
Uh-huh.
The Wizarding World.
Yeah.
Oh, I have 3 things written down. Look at that.
You have 3 things written down?
Welcome to our Epic Universe episode featuring a little bit of IAAPA.
With a side of IAAPA.
With just a side of IAAPA. It's a little IAAPA for dessert. It's just a sliver of IAAPA. Because I seem to have more written down than I thought.
Oh,
the show, the Circus Arcanus, as it were. It's definitely going to have Fantastic Beasts, animals,
good,
and characters.
I don't care about the characters.
This is interesting to me because I was still in my mind thinking maybe the land takes place at the same time as the main ride. And as long as you don't incorporate like Newt Scamander, you can claim it's timeless. Once you throw Newt in there, unless he's very old with a beard or a time traveler, which is always possible.
Well, he's kind of, they kind of Easter egg him in the Harry Potter movies, right?
What do you mean? They talk about his textbook.
He shows up, I'm pretty sure, on the Marauders map.
Oh, so he's still around.
I think so. I might be wrong.
Hold on.
Kids. Go to the comments, kids. And
so confirmation that Newt Scamander is in the show does not necessarily place this show in the 30s. He could just be very beardy.
He could be. He could be really old.
He's an old wizard now.
Well, I mean, also to be fair, in Harry Potter, people live a really long time if they're wizards.
We met Fleming. He was 500 years old, right?
Well, he was an alchemist, and the whole thing was the stone for him. So that's a whole other thing. But
oh my god,
then
you know so much.
Well, it's because Well, he's based on a real mythological alchemist.
Oh, I know.
In the stone.
Oh no, they're building his house, which is a real place in Paris, in that little nook on the side of the land.
That's awesome. But then there's like Dumbledore and stuff. There's some really old people in there.
The ride though does take place at the end of the Harry Potter series, at the British Ministry of Magic, which I only bring up because I wanted to say that the Erumpent will not chase us like Jurassic World Adventure.
Boo! I want the Erumpent to chase me. I think the reasons are a little nefarious.
I think it's still like because this one's going to be full scale still with like its whole body. It just won't be chasing us, I don't think, because we've looked at the layout and we've so I did some digging and I see no feasible way. There's no circle track.
Rex and Kong are probably the biggest ones at Universal.
Kong is pretty big.
Kong is pretty really big.
So maybe the claim can be this is the largest full animatronic.
Yeah,
it has legs.
What is Kong, like 30 or 40 feet or something?
The current Kong, the current existing Kong is only chest up. So
yeah, but that'd be pretty cool to see that thing full size.
Yeah, so I'm curious. I think it's still going to like whip its head at us. I just don't
Yay.
think that we're getting a full chase scene, and I don't
I'm
want people's hopes to be up.
I'm okay to not be chased by a thing that's trying to mate with me on my vacation or
Oh my god, I
visiting a
forgot that's the
park.
plot of that
Yeah,
scene.
I was gonna say that's why I'm talking about. I'm okay
Oh,
with it not chasing me.
I forgot. Completely forgot. I keep seeing clips of it chasing, like breaking through the brick wall and stuff. I completely forgot the point of that scene.
Yep, that's why.
Those are silly movies.
That's
Silly,
probably
silly
it's probably
movies.
why it's not gonna chase us.
Oh my god. All right, so
Hi, I'm here to help.
the main thing I want to talk about the Wizarding World Epic Universe, though, and I kind of hinted at it a
Yes.
month and a half ago.
Yes,
It
yes,
was
yes,
like,
yes.
it's funny because it was like 5 Epic Universe updates ago, and I've been doing them near weekly, so it's only been 5 weeks. But I did mention that I think the Wizarding World at Epic Universe will be the first land to get an expansion. I did not elaborate. I believe Screamscape has elaborated. I did not,
Mhm.
however, go click and look at it yet. I wanted to talk about what we've heard first, and then I'll go look and see if it lines up. So I don't know what they have written. Just I saw people on the forums and on the Discord saying Screamscape mentioned the, and I'm like, oh, it's out there, is it? Oh. The rumor is for 2026 they are going to open a Great Hall dining experience
Yes,
at Epic
please.
Universe.
They're not gonna ever have a problem getting people in there.
Which may explain why they've named the Great Hall from Dragons Mead Hall. You can't
Probably.
have 2 Great Halls right next to each other in the same park.
I mean, you can, but it'd just be a little confusing.
Right. Like, do you have tickets for the Great Hall? And it's like, well, we have a reservation for the Mead Hall. Is that the same thing?
Look,
No.
considering people probably still go to Disney and ask where Harry Potter is, it's probably smart to not have the same name in the same park.
Okay, but is it smart, though, to have a land that takes place in 1930s Paris? And if you go to the left, you
If
take
it
the
takes
Flu
place
Network to go to the 90s British Ministry of Magic.
We just
and you
covered
take
this.
the
It might not be the 30s.
Okay, it might be modern day. Fine. We have a land that takes place in Wizarding Paris with a ride that takes place in the UK
Yeah,
and
well, it's
a
magic.
dinner show that takes place in the other half of the UK. And that they're 3 completely different places for 3 completely different attractions.
It's magic, so it's fine with me.
I kind of like the idea of the because we I think it's called the Metro Flu. It's like a subway station. Like
The
in case you
Metro
don't have
Flu.
in case you don't have it's a Parisian subway station.
I was going to say it's a
for-
Parisian virus is what it is. Metro Flu.
Oh no, FLOO. I see it in my
I
brain.
know.
I see it in my brain.
I understand it's a flu, like the chimney flu, but it just
But, like,
when you said it at first.
You're a business person on the go. You don't have access to your own fireplace. You're on the street. You're like, I need a fireplace to get to the UK. And like, here you
That's
go.
the only way to travel in the Wizarding World, but that
Like,
works.
what are you gonna do? Get on an airplane? Come on. Those
No.
muggle things.
There's all kinds of ways to travel.
Well,
But
you
that
know,
works.
you could take
That's
a
a good
broomstick.
explanation. Maybe it's a Metro Flu for visitor. I don't know. I'm trying to come up
Well,
with a
yeah,
list
we
to
are
make it make
visitors.
sense, so.
It's a bustling city of Paris, and Paris is just a hub for other real wizarding places, apparently. So anyway, the left side of the land, you got a Metro Flu station to the British Ministry of Magic outside of London, and then on the right side of the land, the expansion plot, you're going to have a Metro Flu station to Scotland to Hogwarts Castle. Here's where it gets confusing, though.
Because it's not yet? Okay.
If you have a dining reservation that you pre-booked before you went to Orlando for a Hogwarts Castle experience, are you going to show up at Islands of Adventure? Like, is this a bad idea?
I don't know. Maybe they should just put the Great Hall over in Hogsmeade. I don't know.
Well, there was a plan to put it
I know.
where
we
Fear
talked about
Factor
it.
was.
I know. We talked about it. It should be there.
If you go back and listen to one of our earliest Epic Universe podcasts after it was officially announced, we were talking about a canceled restaurant for the Wizarding World and Epic Universe. Little did we know then, that was the Great Hall. It was postponed, and now it's going to open as a future expansion. It was originally going to be on the left side of the land, where the extended exterior queue for the Ministry of Magic ride will be. And instead, they're building it here where the VR attraction was going to be, because by building it here, they can actually expand the Great Hall and increase capacity by building a second Great Hall if business is good.
Yes. And
so it would use the same kitchen. You just double capacity by building more Great Halls.
And it also allows my nightmare fuel stage to be protected. So
What's your nightmare fuel?
the
Oh,
show,
your actual nightmare fuel stage.
yeah,
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 that there's no plans to get rid of Fear Factor now because the Halloween Horror Night show must go on.
yeah, because it's so popular.
Yeah. So, but when
I
they were
like it.
going to move the VR thing to Fear Factor, they're like, okay, well, we'll move the Great Hall dining experience. But still, like, I feel like it would be even more confusing to have the Great Hall dining experience in the park next to the park with the Hogwarts Castle.
I don't think any of it's gonna make any sense. It's just we're just gonna go with it because it is.
Some of the rumors that are floating around there is around $150 per person for these upcharge dining experience. It will be like a dinner show. It will be, you need access to inside the park. And then on top of that, the dining experience ticket to
Wait,
go to the Great Hall.
wait, is it gonna be like medieval times where you get to sit at your house table?
I hope so.
And there's going to be a show at the front, so then they're going to welcome us to school or something.
Maybe the rumor is there would be a magical ceiling that is able to show images and stories, and that a storyteller will be able to tell us stories as we dine.
Do they have the sorting hat to call your party
Oh,
for
that's
your
actually a good idea.
house
As long as
table?
we don't do like a
House
house
table.
ceremony, because that would take forever for every person.
Oh, we don't need the sorting. We just be like, yeah, this is your table, this is your house, and then they give you stuff like it, like medieval times gives you a crown for the
Oh,
color of
you
your
are a
night.
guest of this house. They would
Yes,
definitely. Okay,
yes, and
okay.
you get
I see.
like
I
maybe
see.
instead of a Burger
The-
King crown colored for medieval times, you get like since you're spending $150, maybe you get like a necklace or a medallion or some kind of ribbon or something. I don't know, and then
Okay.
be like, that's my house table, and I would get
Okay.
mad every time I don't get Slytherin, and then the sorting hat can call you. Maybe
Okay. That would be. I mean,
I need alcohol probably.
I wonder if people would fight over it though. If there was like house tables, I wonder.
Unless it's part of your reservation process.
Oh, no one gonna sit over at Ravenclaw and
Sure they will.
Hufflepuff. I mean,
You don't know Potter fans, do
I
you?
would pick Hufflepuff, but yeah.
You don't know Potter fans, do you?
All right, my mistake. Anyway, the good news is not only is this planned as an expansion probably for 2026, but that it won't affect the ability to add another ride or attraction to this land because it is small and it is only taking up a sliver of the massive expansion plot, which was already big before they canceled the VR attraction. So
Yeah,
there's still enough room to add a whole nother ride or whatever in the future.
that's cool.
That is the good news there.
I like it. I'm happy to. I'll be happy to eat there if I could ever afford it.
The only other thing I had in the notes for Epic Universe is that I do think they have an expansion for Super Nintendo World in planning stages right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if Zelda opens in Lost Continent in like 2027,
Mm-hmm.
maybe the first ride to be added to Epic Universe after it opened could be 2028 or 2029. And I would bet money on it being for Nintendo because they're
Mm,
going all in on Nintendo and they see it as something that will be a big draw, but also because there'll already be the same rides in Japan and some of the same experiences in Hollywood and the rest opening in Singapore by bringing us a ride like Luigi's Mansion. I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying like Luigi's Mansion
screw
to Epic
that.
Universe. It would get
Bring
people to come back 2-3 years after they've already been.
screw that. Bring back the boat, not boat ride.
The boat
Resurrect
not
it.
boat ride.
Resurrect it.
We'll talk more about Zelda Land rumors and Pokemon rumors
Yeah.
and more Nintendo rumors and more lots of rumors and continue this conversation in a Patreon only episode of the podcast,
For
which we're going
$1.
to. Yeah, literally $1.
Literally $1.
Because these are just early rumors. We're still working on stories. I don't want to put that information out there and be wrong. So we're just thinking out loud is all it is. It's just we're going to have a nice
Yeah.
discussion. But if you want to hear more rumors and keep this conversation going, go check out patreon.com/themeparkstop. I'm going to try to drop that special episode the same day that this episode's going out. So you can keep, if you want more content, because that's
I
what
want my $2. That's what I want. I mean, sorry.
it's $1.
I know, but that doesn't go. That doesn't work for my quote, my movie quote.
Yeah, oh, what's your movie quote?
I want my $2.
What is that from?
Really? Okay, moving on.
I only know I'd buy that for $1.
Moving on. I am a little ashamed right now.
Boat Not Boat kind of exists, by the way, for Zelda.
Yeah, kind of.
It can come out of the water. It's a Boat Not Boat.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Other podcasts.
So we did. It was practically like half a day. We did one day at IAAPA Expo, and we got to see all of the new roller coaster trains that were on display and go
And
talk to some fun folks.
Biggest wheels ever on roller coaster
Yeah,
trains.
what's with the big wheels?
I don't know, but my favorite one didn't have big wheels.
No, my favorite one didn't have big wheels either. The first one we saw was the Penguin Trek for SeaWorld Orlando.
Yeah, giant wheels.
What is that, B&M? I was shocked by how big this was, because I thought this is their lowest height requirement family coaster, and this thing is like Mako size.
Coaster. Yeah, it
this
looks like a
thing
regular
is
coaster.
huge. And those wheels were gigantic.
It was.
They're
was
like
ridiculous.
This is like a full scale locomotive wheel over here.
It was ridiculous. I didn't even, until I actually looked at what it actually was at first, I didn't even realize it was a family coaster. It didn't even click in my head. I'm like, wait, what?
I mean, it looks pretty and
it does.
Sleek and stylish, but it's huge. That track is huge. So I'm intrigued by this ride because it's utilizing the indoor portions from the Penguin building. So I really hope they do it right. And, but like, even though it has a lower height requirement, like I have a niece that definitely wants to do roller coasters, and it's going to probably be great, like in between coaster from kiddie coasters, but we need some more attractions in that park that aren't coasters.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I hear a lot of people every time they're like, just do a coaster. It's like the default answer for things. I'm kind of tired of that too. So I think we need things more than coasters. No one liked
the Penguin ride that was there.
I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying, like, it feels like more and more coasters are happening instead of other kinds of rides to mix things up.
I didn't like coasters when I was younger. You know what my favorite ride was at SeaWorld?
What?
Mission Bermuda Triangle.
There you go. I like the shows there to see the aminals.
Well, yes.
It's the walrus and stuff like that.
Clyde and Seymour is always...
Seymour, yep.
It's the goat, yeah. That's always going to be the best. But yeah, so that train... No, the best train was obviously the gravy train.
Yeah, good gravy. The gravy train.
The gravy train.
So good.
That was the Vekoma booth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Holiday World opening the Penguin Trek is opening 2024. I think they're all opening 2024 pretty much from what we saw. But yeah, the gravy train, Jenny Nicholson like quote tweeted my tweet, and it kind of went a little viral, and I love that for Holiday World because they earned it. This is like,
it's so good.
We need more whimsical theming.
I don't think we stood around and stared at a train longer than we did for that one.
And you were right; those are hand painted.
Yeah,
filigree on there.
I was going to say it looks hand painted because you can see the breaks and the brush strokes like somebody.
It's been confirmed. It is hand painted.
Awesome.
It looks just like Grandma's gravy boat. It looks
so good.
The lead car filled with gravy.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was hand painted because when I was touching the car over the paint, you could feel it was raised underneath the clear coat. So it looks awesome. The
concept art has you go through a cranberry sauce can.
So good. It's so good. I want to go on this train.
And it's
has
the right
handle on the back.
It feels appropriately sized. It's like half the size of the SeaWorld Penguin car.
It is.
Because it's a family coaster and it looks like a family coaster.
And there's a drip of gravy on the front, right?
Yeah, it's like dripping out the front because it's
so
being
good.
poured out.
A gravy train.
Oh, it's so like we're doing this episode right before Thanksgiving, so it's perfectly timed. Like I have gravy on the brain.
So good.
Yeah, no, that was our favorite. We stood at that we were in that booth for like half an hour just looking at it. Took 100 pictures.
We walked up. I remember we saw the drip and we're like, "Oh my god, it's gravy!" And we looked at the top. We're like, "There's gravy on the front too." We were just like going nuts. And I was like, "Look, the handle's on the back."
The handle. I kept going back there and taking more pictures of the handle.
It's so good.
Oh, so yeah, that was probably our favorite.
That's so good. It was
I don't think we
cool.
saw all. There was a couple more trains. I think there was even one revealed after we left.
Yeah.
But there was the other one we saw was Falcon's Flight,
which was cool, but I will never get on it because I can never afford to go there.
Yeah, it's true. I don't really leave Orlando. I have lots of reasons why I'm not going to be going to where this ride is being built, but I'm just going to comment and say no coaster needs to be over 600 feet tall.
Or require a windshield that big?
That windshield is thick.
Thick.
That is a thick windshield.
Yeah. It's double pane, which means there's a membrane in there. So
it is bulletproof.
They're expecting you to hit something at some point.
It's yeah, probably spaceships at 600 feet in the air.
You didn't need that satellite, did you? Sorry.
156 miles per hour. It is
that's
more
insane.
than double any coaster I've been on. I can't even fathom. But yeah, it's
I've gone faster than that, but not on a roller coaster.
Look, congrats to Intamin for engineering something that seemingly seems impossible to me.
Insane. 640 feet.
Good for the people who live there, and I hope that this helps tourism and it helps the place become a more welcoming place. Honestly, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So
but
600.
I have no plans to go.
640 feet. For those of you that, if you want it in layman's terms, that's about 64 stories.
No, I can't even go to a building that tall without getting scared.
So, yeah, because typically it's about 10 feet a story, if I remember right. So that's 64. That's a 64 story tall building.
The way they word it though is that's the difference between the lowest and tallest point.
Yeah,
there is like a cliff involved at one point. But there is like a top hat that's the tallest top hat ever.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at it and I puke looking at the image. It's just concept art. I start vomiting.
And then straight down off the cliff face, of course.
No, I can't. I can't even.
What do you mean, no? You got a windshield. Don't puke on that ride. You got a windshield. It's
going to come back at me. Well, maybe the windshield will keep the wind from pushing the puke back into my own face.
Oh, yeah, maybe. But but when you go up, maybe it'll fall off the windshield. So, you know.
So, regardless of where this ride was, and even if it wasn't a place that I could get to or would go to, or even afford to go to, I'm not riding it. I'm sorry. I think I was telling that to someone. They're like, but it's like breaking all these things. And I'm like, I'm not the kind of coaster person who wants to do things because it's new and never been done before. I'm the kind of coaster person that likes to go on rides that are fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to feel close to death every time I go on a ride. That is not fun.
Well, not every time.
Look, if I wanted to jump out of a plane, I'd jump out of a plane. I don't need to be on a roller coaster to get that feeling.
I have no interest in jumping out of a perfectly good
I have no interest in falling 600 feet to the ground on a roller coaster. I see no point.
64 stories. It's fine.
No. I'll go on the Fast and Furious coaster in Hollywood. That seems more my speed.
Now I'm more curious.
That goes off of a hill instead of a cliff.
I'm curious about famous buildings that are around 64 stories.
Well, I've been to the top of the Empire State Building. It was a windy day too, so I was terrified. I do not like being in a building so tall that I feel it sway. I cannot. I need solid ground. I don't even like going to a second story of a normal house. I want I grew up in Florida. I grew up in Florida. I need to feel the solid concrete beneath my feet. I need a real foundation that is solid. As soon as you go up to the second story, it's like creak, creak, creak. And I'm like, no, the floor's gonna give out. The floor's gonna give out. I need my solid ground. Anyway. Did you find a building yet?
No, I'm just looking. We can keep talking. If I find it, I'll just say something.
A highlight of our day and everyone's day, of course, was Sally Dark Ride's Mr. Krabs animatronic on display at IAAPA Expo 2023. SpongeBob's Crazy Carnival Ride opening 2024 at Circus Circus Las Vegas. I don't think I realized this was going to Circus Circus. I think that's interesting. Do they have rides that are they don't have a dark ride?
I don't know. I don't know what's there.
They have rides, but they don't have a dark ride, do they?
I don't know what's there.
Oh, I did not do good research. I should have looked it up. So this animatronic is amazing.
I know about Vegas rides.
the animatronic looked amazing. We were so admiring the way it's constructed because it has flexible skin. So when he opens and closes his mouth, it flexes instead of just having a solid piece hide under his. What was he wearing? A bow tie.
Yeah.
It could have easily hid a solid piece under its bow tie, but no, it is a solid, flexible neck piece. So it looks like a real Mr. Krabs. There are no seams.
We talked about the eyes moving without the hat that he's got on moving.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't seem like a difficult thing to do, but it looked great.
It's I think of like BB-8 and how like they used a puppet in the movie, but then in real life people build BB-8s that work for like special like events and stuff. And it blows my mind. Mr. Krabs' eyeballs is holding up his hat because he wears a hat on his eyes.
Yeah.
And he's turning his eyes left and right, but the hat stays in the same spot.
Yeah, I think the eyes are shaped a specific way, so when they rotate, it moves right, and there's just a post going up through them, like on each one.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It looks so good. Like it's like when you notice it at first, it's like, wait,
logic.
What?
Yeah,
he looks so good.
You were convinced it wasn't the original voice actor. What's his
name? Clancy Brown. I was concerned that it wasn't because there was parts of his speech that didn't sound like him.
Yeah, he's just getting older. It's fine. It's definitely him, though. All the original voice actors returned for this ride.
I was wrong. It's Clancy.
I wrote down the story because, like, I hadn't heard anyone talking about it, so I wrote down the story for the ride. It'll have 6 animatronics from Sally Dark Ride, by the way, on the actual ride, or as part of the full experience.
Their animatronics are great. I like them.
Because this is like the Barker animatronic trying to get us to come into the carnival outside. The story starts in Mr. Krabs' new carnival in Bikini Bottom, where SpongeBob and Patrick are delivering boxes of supplies to each of the Midway games, but they bring Krabby Patty ingredients instead. So they cover their mistake by loading the games with buns and patties and other ingredients. But that attracts Plankton, who's trying to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula.
Okay, I'm in. Let's go.
I like that they could have just done like, a book report thing, but they really worked to try to make it like its own episode. It's an episode of SpongeBob that you can only watch by going on the ride. It
was the animatronic is so good on its own.
We stood there for 20 minutes. He never repeated himself. Not once did he repeat himself.
No, and it made me want to go on the ride. Like it was so good.
It's fine. We'll get POV videos, I'm sure. I have no plans to go to Vegas anytime soon.
Someone take me to Vegas just to go on this. Thanks.
Although the Universal Monsters thing, what is it called? Halloween Horror Unleashed or something?
Yeah, something like that. Whatever ridiculous name that has too many words.
So maybe we'll go to Vegas for that, and then we can go ride the Mr. Krabs ride.
Yes, please. And hit me, Owl Wolf, over there.
Every time he went, just started laughing.
I can't do his voice. He's so good. Clancy Brown is amazing.
Anyway, who plays Tom Kenny? I used to love Mr. Show with Bob and David back in the day on HBO.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible to see like Tom Kenny be... I hope he's a millionaire.
They've gotta be.
He's built such an amazing career out of playing this character, which was like his annoying voice on like old skits and comedy shows. Like he like that's the voice he would do to annoy people, and it somehow he gave it a little bit of heart, and now he's SpongeBob forever.
So good. I'm just happy for Clancy Brown because that dude's awesome.
Yeah,
he's such a good actor.
What else do we see? We talked to Daniel over at Skyline Attractions from Midway Mayhem.
Awesome. I like those coasters. I really want to ride one.
This is I think the third year that I've spent, like, because you were with me last year. Like I like hanging out at that booth and talking to them. They're always the nicest folks.
They're great.
But they won the IAAPA Brass Ring Award for their Paschetti Bowl. Paschetti. Paschetti Bowl. It's for best new product under $3 million. And someone like commented on my tweet. It's like, oh, that's so expensive. And I'm like, do you understand the industry at all? That is so cheap.
So cheap.
That is such a great price for this like big coaster.
That's what happens. You don't have to weld everything together.
Yeah, but it's so pretty because it doesn't have weld points.
Yeah, the light and the lighting and stuff too. He was telling us that like, what was it? The picture we saw was like only 30% of the lighting power possible, and it looked like ridiculously bright.
Yes,
it's awesome. Yeah, talking to Daniel was great there.
Yeah, I really like the design, so I like popping into their booth every year.
I really want to ride one. They look so weird.
Yes. Well, I want to ride that one that was part of that art installation.
Yeah, the art installation we saw the video of last year. That was cool too. Yeah.
We should save up some money. It's so inexpensive. We'll save up some money. We'll build our own.
It's only $3 million.
Well, that's, if you have a powered, like an actual like coaster, we'll just do like theirs and start it on the second floor of a house and just make it go down.
Like an old school Gravity for real
And
coaster.
yeah, until the city shuts me down, I'll do it off my roof. It's fine.
You just go win the lottery. I'll just buy a big plot of land and we can have a roller coaster in the middle
We
for
don't
no
need
reason.
the LED lights. We'll save money on that.
What?
We just
No,
need the track.
no, take that back. No, we need more lights. All of the lights.
I like that my notes just say, "Move over, condiment cow. Here comes the condiment sow."
Oh, that was so great when I saw that.
Do I have a? I think I
like
have
that we.
here. I
like
have
that
a
we
pamphlet.
You have. Oh yeah, you took a pamphlet.
It says the condiment cow is utterly amazing.
Yes. Wait, did you see that we missed what is it? The fake Dippin' Dots, the mascots for that? What is it? Melts? I forget.
Mini Melts?
Mini Melts, yeah, the mascot.
Yeah, they weren't out when we were there.
No.
I did get a picture with every mascot, the costumed character that I could find.
Yeah.
Wait, when are we going to get a condiment cow walk around character? Seriously.
I have questions.
I think we were talking about it. The condiment sow is a pig.
Yeah, barbecue.
Yeah, I think you're right. It works really well for a barbecue restaurant. Like, it's so funny to me because most restaurants, you don't put like a cartoon character of the animal you're going to eat as the logo, but barbecue restaurants are all in on having the pig as the logo.
Always pigs.
Might as well have a little word bubble. It's like, eat me. Like, it's just, we're used to it. It's fine. Cute pig, go to the barbecue.
Get some barbecue sauce to put on my cousins. Oh yeah. Man, that got dark quick. I'm not talking anymore.
Anyway, it's utterly amazing. I always a fan of the condiment cow. How will they one up themselves next year? What else rhymes with cow?
I don't know. That's interesting. Now, Sal was pretty clever though. Do the pig. It's pretty clever.
I squealed when I saw it. I was like, "There's a new one!"
And I made you take a picture to send it to the group chat we have with Liv, so Liv freaked out too.
Because Liv was like, "What's going to be this year's new condiment cow?" I'm like, "Condiment Sal. Why not? Why not?" Anyway, the real Dippin' Dots has a new flavor. I love that when they debut new flavors. Last year was the icy flavor of Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, this year's was good. I liked it a lot.
It's called Frozetti Dough.
Get it? Frozetti. Get it?
Wait, did we see him this year? I saw him last year. I got a photo with him last year. A giant alive pretzel from Super Pretzel.
No, I remember Super Pretzel. I don't think we saw Frozetti.
When Jen was there, we got a picture with her with Frozetti.
Yeah, I remember the pretzel because you refused to leave without getting a picture with the pretzel.
Yeah, I will wait in line for a mascot picture. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
so Frozetti Dough.
And you got a picture with that weird inflatable bear character thing that was bouncing. He was a bouncing inflatable character, which was kind of cool.
Oh my god, I have too many pictures with Nene yesterday. I have to go back to earlier this week.
There's never enough pictures with Nene.
Yeah, he's Access the Bear.
Yeah,
and
he was fun.
He was big and inflatable. Yes, the Frozetti Dough is a sugar cookie flavored ice cream dots with cookie dough pieces and chocolate chips. And honestly, I don't care about cookie dough. But the sugar cookie, it was a blue ice cream from Dippin' Dots.
It was good.
That was good.
It was good.
I want to order just the blue ice cream on its own.
Was good.
I will eat around the cookie dough. The chocolate chips are fine, but like, I don't know what it is. Like, because normally their cookie dough ice cream is just vanilla. It's like, here's vanilla ice cream and cookie dough. Finally, an ice cream that complements the cookie dough, sugar cookie flavored ice cream.
Yeah, it was good. It was so good.
The same company, because they were bought out by the Icy Company and Super Pretzel Company. So, and it's always been my first stop when I go to IAAPA is to try the new Dippin' Dots flavor. But it's so cool now that they're connected to Super Pretzel and Icy.
It's like so I get mini run of snacks.
Yeah, nothing like starting your day at 10 a.m. with sugar and pretzels and churros too. They have churros this year. But the Icy flavor I tried was a new Fruit Loops flavored Icy.
Yep.
Which I told Jen, I was like, they have Fruit Loops Icy. You missed out. And she's like, how do they combine all the different Fruit Loop flavors? I don't think people know. All the Fruit Loops are all the same flavor.
Pretty much.
No, they are.
I know.
They're just different colors, which only taste like lemon to me. They just always taste like.
They don't taste like lemon to me. I don't know what it tastes like besides sugary breakfast yummy cereal.
Well, like back in the day when there was only 3 flavors of gum, it was like there's mint and there's fruit and there's cinnamon. Those are the only
No,
gums we
no,
ever
no,
got.
no. There was bubble gum, just generic bubble gum
Okay,
flavor.
fleet. I'm still talking about the 3 flavors
Oh,
of like that were added to gum.
oh, okay, okay. I was like, let's not forget the generic.
Fruit is like what fruit? It's just fruit.
It's
And
just
that's
fruit.
what
That's why
Fruit
it's
Loops is. Fruit Loops is just fruit.
that's why it's spelled with 2 O's and not a UI.
Exactly.
It's
Well, be
not
careful.
fruit.
There's a Mandela effect. In our universe, it's spelled with 2 O's, but not everyone has seen it that way.
I know. I know. Don't come for me. I promise you I'm right.
Yeah, Jen loves Fruit Loops, so I don't
Yeah,
have the
'cause
heart to
they're
tell her it's
good.
all the same flavor.
You just did. Well, she won't listen, so she won't know.
She doesn't believe me. I'm only wrong half the time, so I understand. What else did we do? The last thing we did before we
Ooh,
left the
ooh.
floor was we what?
The Zamperla, right? We're gonna talk about
Yeah,
that. Yeah, it was so fun.
the go-go bounds.
Yeah. So what was it? James are hanging out with us
Yeah, and Caden.
and Caden, and James was the one that told us it's more intense than you'd think it is. And we're watching it, and we're like, okay. And we get on it, and when we got to the most the most extreme, like it's not super extreme. It's still a family ride, but like I was hitting we were hitting the bottom, and I was like, oh, I felt like gravity was just like slamming me in my seat. It was great.
Well, I filmed like
I know.
a POV of it the whole time. But then when I went to go watch it back, it's just me screaming the whole time. I just go, ah, ah, ah!
It's so fun though.
Just over and over. Every time it went down to the trough level. I love how it's themed as like cars.
Yeah,
just
it's like monster trucks.
yeah, like I
pickup
guess it could
trucks.
be anything. I
Yeah,
assume
easily.
it's something that you retheme it. Like I think rabbits would be hilarious. Just hopping rabbits. Kangaroos would be fun
Oh man,
because it's a
You know what,
spinning
though?
flat ride that just goes whoop, whoop,
for a spinning flat ride, it was actually really fun. I don't even like those rides that much, and that was actually pretty fun.
Well, the one they've had for the last 2 years, the one that like looks
We
all
did
weird
last
and
year?
swirls around each other. It goes vroom, vroom, but like also at the same time, there's a separate vehicle. So like one's going up, one's going down, then it reversed and went the other way. We went on that last
Yeah,
year.
we did that last year.
And that also is a small flat spinning ride that is more extreme than it looks. But this one was more extreme
Yeah.
than that.
Hitting the bottom on that was rough. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Every
And this one's
time.
only half as tall too. So like good on Zamperla. I think the theory is that most of the rides at the Frisco, Texas Universal Park are Zamperla. So they need to bring some of this for the
I
kitty
know. I was gonna
guys.
say they need that. That
Bring
ride's
the-
fun.
If this opens up in Trolls Land, you got yourself a family ride there.
All day. Can I have that ride, please?
Make a catter bus that bounces up and down. Why not?
That'd be great.
I assume maybe there's a way to tweak the settings because it went through 3 different motion profiles. So
It
I wonder
did.
if you can tweak it and like set it to only do the smooth one.
That's not fun.
I liked the smooth one though.
I
It
liked
didn't make me puke.
I liked all 3 that we did. It was great. It was
Yeah,
nice.
they were all different and interesting in their own way. But the one that was more spread out was like woo. That was more fun for me because it wasn't
Okay, old lady.
making my eyeballs bulge out of their sockets. The last thing we did was we did the Legends panel. I always do the Legends panel at IAAPA Expo.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's
Maybe
starting
that
to become
was-
clear to me that they alternate between Universal Creative and Imagineering year to year. And this year was back to Universal. Last year was Epcot was last year.
I'm glad
And
we
this
got this
year,
year.
they talked about Universal Studios Beijing. And as fascinating as it was, I prefer to hear about the creation of attractions and development of rides.
Yeah.
Learning the difficulties of building a theme park during a pandemic while
In another country.
fascinating
In another country.
in another country. Well, the other country stuff was more fascinating to me because
It
like
was.
listening to what was her name? Sylvia Haas.
Mhm.
She designed and wrote the Untrainable show.
Yep.
The question that the moderator asked about what's the difference between designing a show for Japan or Beijing or America audiences? What's the difference in like how do you design the show differently? And she's saying essentially the shows are designed the same, but the length of the applause breaks is different.
That's
I
weird.
thought that was fascinating.
It was, but it's weird.
Because if
It
you have to
makes
do a
sense, though.
show based on timing and you can't adjust the timing on the fly, like a
Yeah, yeah.
live show, sometimes you can adjust when you move on to the actors can adjust. But if you're basing it all on a pre-programmed thing, you have to assume like an American audience is going to clap no matter what. We love clapping. And that maybe in some Asian countries, you have to earn that applause.
Yeah, she said they only clap when it's good.
When it's, yeah. So you have to adjust the length of based on what you think the audience is going to clap for. But she kind of ended by saying, essentially, when you're in a theme park, though, everyone kind of acts like a child and claps. So it's
That's
like,
good.
there's not much difference, really. And I
That's
thought
good.
that was really smart.
We learned stuff, though, too.
Well, they talked about facial recognition,
Yeah,
which is
we learned
interesting to me
stuff.
because we're so entrenched in the Epic universe and what they're doing over at Universal Orlando right now. Because they've done facial recognitions from the start at Universal Studios Beijing, it's a really good test run for
Mhm.
how it's going to work here.
And what did we learn that made you perk up in your seat when you heard it?
Oh, the way they do it is they allow you to set it up on the app the night before you go to the park.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought was most interesting because that's one of the rumors we've heard for Epic
Mm-hmm.
Universe is that you're able to, and he was saying this is Tom Merman, CEO, Universal Destination and Experiences Pacific Rim. I wrote that down so I didn't forget. Tom was saying that because everyone has like, what do they call it? It's an ID. It's an official ID for.
They have basically like QR codes outside of everything in Asia for COVID, so everyone got used to doing stuff like that.
Right. And your face is already on record or whatever. So it's easy
so
to go on the app and use your official, essentially your driver's license photo. Essentially.
So they
because it's already
really
on
quickly.
record anyway. When you buy your ticket, you have to show that ID.
Yep.
But the idea for Epic Universe and maybe Universal Orlando is that when you go buy your tickets and you set up your wallet on the official app, you just literally point your phone at your face, take a picture, and then you're set up for facial recognition. And when you go to the park in the morning, you don't have to wait in a turnstile. You don't have to wait in a line. You don't even have to pull out your ticket out of your pocket. You just walk into Epic Universe.
Yeah, it's fully automated, right? That's what he said. It's fully automated.
Fully automated. And no handing of paper to other people. And it's interesting because they're used to the technology there, but also because of COVID, they were like,
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, they were fast tracking the technology because no one wanted to do everything was cashless anyway. Everything is ticketless. So it's definitely a good test run. They've been doing it for, when did the park open? 2021, I think.
21, think. Yeah.
They've been doing it for like 2 years. So by the time Epic opens, they would have ironed out some details.
Didn't he say that it's been like really reliable or something? Like, wasn't he talking about the reliability being really high on it and stuff like that too?
He was saying near 100% usage for facial recognition out of everyone that goes to the park.
Yeah, and they had much stricter guidelines over there to get stuff done too. So I'm sure it was tweaked a little more than if they did it here first, which kind of is probably good for them.
It works with masks. It works with masking.
Yeah, well, if your phone works with sunglasses and masks, I'm sure it's pretty much the same.
And it's been the same here with the test because now all of the turnstiles at Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida have the facial recognition. They don't necessarily use them all day, but they have all the screens now at every single turnstile. And I've talked to multiple people and they're like, I didn't have to take my mask off. I know I have to take my glasses or my hat off every time. But it's crazy that people would do it with or without a mask and then come back the next time and do it with a mask and it still works.
Yeah, of course. Well, your phone works that way.
Well, I don't use that on my phone. I don't have time to look at my screen.
It's actually faster than typing in your number, but I use both. It depends. But yeah, if you have sunglasses on or anything else, like part of your face is covered, it still works.
So yeah, it was. I love the Legends panel, and we always learn like obscure facts and things. But it's interesting too when things are related or relevant to what some of the stuff we're covering.
Yeah, it was cool. I did enjoy it, even though I was exhausted by then.
You did yawn a lot, so I thought maybe you were bored, but I think you were just exhausted.
I was just exhausted. You're like, you can leave early if you want. I'm like, no, I want to hear this in case they say something cool. I'm just really tired.
I'll put a link in the description for this podcast because someone did film it, the entire thing, if you wanted to watch the whole thing.
Awesome.
But I filmed some tidbits myself. I'm probably showing clips on the video version of this podcast on Theme Park Stop on YouTube. But speaking of YouTube, make sure everyone, you guys, make sure you're subscribed. I'm trying to get to 100,000.
Oh man, are we becoming that channel? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't ever. I mean, I do ask people to subscribe, but like, come on, smash that subscribe button.
No, we don't do
Click
that here.
That bell.
Nope,
Ring that bell. Ring that bell.
So far, we've been doing this for years. We don't do ads.
We kind of do ads. We've done like 3 ads in 50 episodes.
Sort of. I was gonna say sort of.
We've done 3. Well, it's mostly for friends that we know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're at what 93,000 subscribers on the YouTube.
So close.
So make sure, like, I'm surprised by people. I tell people and they're like, oh, it turns out I wasn't subscribed. It just shows up in my feed all the time.
It's because of algorithm. Yay.
If you keep watching them, yeah, it's going to show up. But like, subscribe. Come on. But yeah, we'll continue this discussion and we'll talk some more about rumors over at patreon.com/themeparkstop. Keep the show going.
Oh, I have to stay here and talk some more.
Yes, but I'll let everyone in on a little secret. The Patreon show is a little more relaxed. We not that this episode was that professional, but
Are we ever professional?
Sure.
I don't know. I don't listen back, so I don't know what you edit out the things that I say. So
on Patreon, I edit out less. Let's say that.
I know that.
So sometimes there's mature themes. I apologize.
No, what are you apologizing for? We're adults here.
Talking about clean image to uphold here.
Not with me around. I don't know what you're talking about. Everyone thinks I drink beer all the time. So
patreon.com/themeparkstop. Bye, everyone.
Bye, kids.